Hey guys, huge shout out to everybody who came to the defense of my microphone. It has been under attack for the last few days and I don't know why. But you know what? This microphone is very dear to me and I will protect it, and I appreciate everybody who came to its defense. And I'm not getting another microphone. Maybe a stand, but I'm not getting another microphone. All right, case closed, but that's not the video today. Haha, there is some more. I would like to cover another part of the Rahaf saga that we've been having in Canada. Now, this is not anything against Rahaf. This is really to show you about the Canadian government, and just a little side note to anybody who has said to me, oh, you know, whatever, bad comment because now you're making money off of this and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, sadly, I would like to report that I do not make any money off of any of my YouTube videos. Nothing is monetized, and you probably noticed by the fact that there are no commercials. But also, I do these in my spare time. I don't take any money from, I don't know, what the Zionists or who the Russians, I don't know. Like, whoever you think is paying me, well, they're not. I wish. You know what? If I got paid, I'd get a better mic, huh? How about that? Okay, right, onto the video. So, I read an article in the CBC, and the same article appeared in Global News, and it was that Rahaf is receiving numerous death threats. And Rahaf herself said that she's concerned about her safety in Canada. Now, I don't doubt that for a sec, because the punishment for leaving Islam is death. So no matter where you are in the world, you're supposed to die. Now she has private security. And it's 24/7 private security. So this raises a few questions that I want to go through in this video today. And I'm going to start with the most obvious question of all. It is, how can Canada now still be considered a safe country? I'm bewildered. This kind of thing, like, how is Canada a safe country? If a refugee comes here and needs a 24/7 security detail, maybe somebody can explain it to me. I don't think I'm smart enough to understand that. But anyways, think about that next time you're drinking your coffee or your beer, whatever, right? Next one. Who do you think is issuing these numerous death threats? So, now, I know the family for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that the family in Saudi Arabia wants her honor killed because she brought shame upon the family, and the death for apostasy the punishment for apostasy is death. And also, if you bring shame to the family can kill you, because the woman's life under Islam is not really that valuable anyways. So, given that the punishment for leaving Islam is death, and now knowing she has the 24/7 security detail, it means the Canadian government has assessed that there's a severe or a concrete enough threat in Canada for her actual physical safety, meaning that somebody could potentially kill her in Canada. And this is why the security detail's there. So it's not just online threats. And what I don't like about the media is how they don't say where the threats are from, right? As if, you know, like, who do you think it is, right? So let's go through a list of who could it be? Who could be issuing the threats, just for fun? Family, yes, 100% for sure. Now, who else in Canada could be issuing threats that could cause her to be killed? You know, do you think it's old stock Canadians, right? Like, or maybe it could be Quebecers. Maybe you Quebecers are all plotting this. Maybe it's you hippies out in BC, right? Or maybe the fishermen in Maritimes, or the pipeline guys out in Alberta. Like, right? Like, who in Canada could be doing this? Well, I have a bit of a theory on that one. In Canada, I believe there are some Muslims who are currently plotting her death. And this is why she's got a security detail here in Canada. So there are enough Muslims in Canada that have made severe enough, credible threats that even the government actually gave her security detail. So I would say that by the own definition of our government, the government has now become Islamophobe, right? They're Islamophobic for giving her security. How dare they think that Islam would do such a threat and take it seriously, right? So another question, how long are the taxpayers going to have to pay for this stuff? I have no problem ensuring that Rahaf is safe when she's in Canada. That doesn't bother me. But what does bother me is that this action could potentially set a precedent, right? If refugees are no longer safe here and they need security detail, then what's going to happen to Rahaf after a year, right? Are they going to drop the detail? Are they going to give her a new identity and put her in a witness protection program? What's going to happen after we don't have enough money? And then there's going to come a time where we're going to have to do a kind of a financial assessment of how much money do we actually have and how much money can we put towards this versus how many refugees can bring in. So if one refugee costs $1 million for security detail over the span of their lifetime because they're under danger from Islam, how many can we actually afford to bring in and protect them that way? These are all questions that the government really needs to be on to. I mean, if I was at work and I didn't provide any answers and they just did stuff like that, they'd question me. So, this brings me to my last question, which is probably the most long-term important question. But how will Canada conciliate or appease, on one hand, the growing number of refugees that are fleeing Islam, and on the other hand, the growing number of Muslim migrants who come here and are bringing in Islam, are demanding more Sharia, are demanding more accommodations for Muslims. So we're going to have a growing Muslim population via the Global Migration Compact. And we're also going to have a growing number of people who flee Islam, like ex-Muslims, Christians, anybody that is just trying to get away from Islam. So what's going to happen? How is Canada going to manage that? Because if I look at that, to me, that looks like we're being set up for civil war by bringing two different people that are at war with each other in their own countries, and that if they were left in their own countries, they would kill one person would kill the other. You bring them now on Canadian soil. The ideology of Islam isn't going to change just because it's in Canada. They're still going to want to kill people. So what's the solution here? It really looks to me like it's a future civil war. And one last thing, I'm going to put in the description for you not only those two articles, but also the Quran verses that talk about how the mandated punishment for somebody who leaves Islam is death. So I've been called out by a lot of Muslims who've come on my comment section and said, hey, it never says that in the Quran. Well, that's false. It actually does say it in the Quran, and it also is repeated in multiple Hadith. So if you don't believe me, and it's fine, you don't have to, I don't care, you should at least believe your own prophet. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think of all this, and I'll see you in the next one.